be your own hype man in a way. Like part of the reason I don't watch a lot of other people's work. Like I don't, and not because I watch it and I'm like seething with jealousy, but I recognize like it makes me feel I may feel comparative. I may feel like what I'm doing is the wrong way, so I'm careful about how much outside influence I let in. Some people will tell you to watch every movie you can get your hands on, which I think maybe is beneficial like earlier when you're still in that infancy stage. But as I've matured, I don't want to watch 800 good films a year. I'd rather watch maybe 2 or 3 really excellent films. One thing I'd say just about the comparison and jealousy and stuff like that is like, if it puts you in a bad mood to look at, don't look at it. It's like, whether it's on Instagram or online or stuff, just be careful about how much of other people's progress you're watching, because you won't feel as much of your own growth. Artistically, I don't find a lot of commonality or common ground with people I'm around. I'm around successful people all the time, but I'm really not jealous of them, because at the end of the day, I don't think there's very many good artists out there. So like what makes me jealous is not about, oh, so-and-so just shot this film and they're doing massive things. It's more of like, when I see somebody that I like feel it in their work, and I'm like, man, that under the hood of that person, I can feel that there's like a real soul in their work. Those people, that's cool. Those people are much fewer and further in between, and so it means a lot to me when it's like I guess I'm kind of like an antisocial. Like I'm not friends with all the dogs. There's like maybe 2 or 3 dogs at the park that I am interested in. Yeah. I take it very, very hard. Like when I lose a friend or a peer or somebody that I can actually, because it's so rare that I want to work with somebody. When that ends without closure, I don't know. I took it and take it very hard. So go after those. Like go after the people you think are really brilliant, not the ones that make you angry. Your 20s in particular, that's going to be a really heavy theme, is just finding out where you kind of fit in and who you vibe with and what you want to chase and what you don't want to chase. But there's not going to be a shortcut. I mean, maybe if you were able to pump the brakes on some of the social media stuff at age 17, then maybe you'll find this maturity sooner than I did. But I feel like most of my 20s and until maybe like 20, 28-ish, I was in a comparative mindset. I wanted to make work that was better than everybody else's work. That's totally different than making work that actually originates from like your soul, because if your soul is unique, so it's not going to look or feel like anybody's work.
For most of maybe the second half of last semester, I was genuine, like I couldn't go to sleep worrying that I'd sabotaged my career.
Well, you don't have a career yet.
Yeah, I know, but like sabotaging before I'd even started.
Right. Well, that's, I mean, I feel you probably already know that I'm going to say this, but that's, just let that go. Like you're gonna fuck up a lot of situations. You're gonna bomb some things, and while you're younger, your eyes are probably going to be bigger than your stomach in terms of like, experience is the currency that you're trying to accumulate. So you're going to be reaching for as much experience as you can, and to get through that easiest, it's probably best to just keep it in mind that if you're grabbing as much experience as you can, like the stream of consciousness stuff is like, you're going to have bad experiences in there as well. Like you're not gonna hit a home run every time. You're not even gonna get a single. You're gonna strike out. You're gonna strike out a lot, and you will get emails that give you those like shaky adrenaline feelings and
Yeah, they're like, oh, when's it?
right.
Yeah.
And if that is really, really harming you, like you can kind of just get through that as a rite of passage and accept that. But I feel like you're generally a little more cautious and responsible. So if you're looking to mitigate those really bad feelings more, I think the best thing you could probably do is remind yourself that your eyes are bigger than your stomach, and to be careful about how much you let on to your plate. If you don't want to disappoint anybody, then you have to just keep your world a little bit smaller. You can't do 5 jobs at a time. Have you ever heard the expression, life is 3 things and you only get 2? And that's a good rule of thumb, is just like,
Yeah.
Maybe one night if you have some time to yourself, write down all the things that are on your mind or on your heart about what's coming up. Just list out like APR, church, and divide it by 3 and figure out which third of that is not going to get done.
Yeah.
And either accept that you're going to get angry emails or just excuse yourself from those things. I don't mean you have to literally do it like that.
Yeah.
I just mean that there's that's some good old wisdom that now this is making me think of what we were talking about earlier with trying to articulate things that you're not capable of yet. You're not capable of doing all the things you're reaching for, whether you're reaching for the right words to express it or you're reaching for the time to do it. You're not going to have all that time. And so you've got to be a 3-dimensional person with a life, with some sleep, with some love, with some happiness. But you also want to work hard.
That too, I end up going to bed at like 2 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, I was like that. I didn't sleep very much in college. And, I mean, this is kind of contradictory to what I just said. So keep these things balanced. But your window, you're only going to have, I'm not going to say you're only, that energy, that phase of life where you have that like puppy energy to do all-nighters or to do crazy things or to, for me, I would like, I did crazy things to get my arms around as much experience as I could. That will start to wane the older you get, and you'll just you won't have as much energy to do all that stuff. Like, I know that it's more PC or comforting to say like, oh, you can get started at any age. You can become a master at age 60. And it's like, sort of. I mean, you're in the stage now where you want to get your reps, and you have the energy, but just don't let it cost you your sanity or your health or your, I was going to say relationships, but it will cost you some. I mean, don't let it cost you the ones that are important.
Yeah.
Don't let it cost you your family or, depending on how serious you are with CC or what. Don't let it get in the way of too much real life. That's my piece on that. All right, this is a good episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, but I think I gotta